Welcome to Grimworld. The savage criminals that robbed banks and held up trains were all taught by Ma Barker. After all, she provided the bed and board for the infamous Barker Gang.
The FBI, she was Ma Barker, one of America's most vicious criminal masterminds.
Getting all over him, going to do this and do that, you know. And
there wasn't a least bit of doubt in my mind we were going to have trouble in that place.
This is the story of Ma Barker, the woman who not only mothered but also led a whole army of criminals. Ma Barker, whose real name is Arizona Donnie Clark, ultimately died with her son. But you better be sure it took machine guns and even gas bombs to end the violent reign of Ma Barker. Edgar Hoover described her as a mean, vicious beast of prey, a she-wolf.
4 men trying to sound like 8.
4 to 2, Ma. We haven't got a chance. I'm going to quit.
Now, wait a minute.
Kate Barker was born on October 8, 1873 and passed away on January 16, 1935. We all know her as Ma Barker, but she was also referred to as Arizona and Arrie. This is where it gets interesting. You see, she was the mother of a few active American criminals who ran the Barker-Karpis Gang. This all took place in the Public Enemy era. During this era, exploits of gangs brought on by criminals in the Midwest U.S. took the American people and media hostage.
Showed us the gun. He said, "This is a holdup. Put your hands up."
Ma Barker traveled with her sons during their entire criminal career, which launched the intimidating reputation as a ruthless, savage, crime matriarch. Miss Barker was the one responsible for her son's crimes. She initiated control and leadership, executing well-planned crime attacks. J. Edgar Hoover stated, "The most vicious, dangerous, and resourceful criminal brain of the last decade." Films, literature, and songs can be found to portray Ma Barker as a monster based on her real true crime actions. People that knew Ma recall that she had absolutely no role in her son's violent activities, of robbing, for instance. Some believe Hoover created allegations against Ma to justify her shooting by the FBI, which took place in 1935.
She never read newspapers. The only thing she listened to on the radio was hillbilly program.
Do you think the FBI and newspapers would falsely create reports that seemingly prove her association and management of her son's crimes? It is proven that Ma's sons were committing mad crimes in as early as 1910. Herman was arrested for highway robbery and ran over a child in a getaway car he had ready. A few years pass and Herman and his brothers are involved in various crimes reportedly. These crimes were robbery and even murder. It was getting serious. They were now inducted into major crime by the Central Park Gang. After a slew of robberies, Herman eventually died on August 29, 1927, after a confrontation with the police during, of course, another robbery. This incident left one officer dead. It was reported that he shot the officer head-on, right in the mouth. He later seriously hurt himself in the getaway car and shot himself dead. 1928, Lloyd Barker, the other brother, was locked up in the penitentiary in Leavenworth, Kansas. Arthur Doc Barker was incarcerated in the Oklahoma State Pen. Fred Barker was over in the Kansas State Pen. George Barker may have been the one that got away. He was last reported to be living with his wife in 1928 in Tulsa. He wasn't known for actually doing the crimes the family was known to do, but he figured he could eventually cash in on all their assets. George never thought to himself to accept his brother's wrongdoings even after he refused to support Lloyd after his arrest. George said he should be punished for his crimes, turning on his own brother. Ma Barker enters a miserable time in her life from 1928 to 1930. No more family around to pop off some shots around town with, no job whatsoever to keep busy, no husband to cook for. Her sons were scattered across the U.S., all in jail. The FBI recalls this time in which she started seeing various men. She eventually found a jobless man named Dunlap and hoped for improvement in her life. Fred is released from prison in 1931, joined by former prison mate Alvin Karpis to form the Barker-Karpis Gang. Hello. They tried to master the art of robbery, back then dominating the scene. Mad robberies are taking place over time. One robbery on December 19, 1931, Fred and Karpis killed C. Roy Kelly, who was the sheriff in West Plains, Missouri. This forced them to get the heck out of Dodge and bounce from the area. Ma and Dunlap traveled with them the whole time using different fake names. A wanted poster kept popping up all over towns, offered a $100 reward for the capture of Old Lady Arrie Barker. As an accomplice, gang members all knew her by Kate at this point, one of her many names. 1931 came along and Arthur was released from prison. He joined his brothers Fred and Karpis. Alongside other associate criminals, the core gang had been formed. They can't be stopped now. If it wasn't for Al Capone, they would have moved to Chicago. Instead, they head over to St. Paul and Wisconsin territory, which was thought to have been a somewhat safe zone for criminals back then. This is when the gang decided to really ramp up their criminal projects. The gang had established protection under St. Paul's police chief Thomas Big Tom Brown, who persuaded them to not only rob banks, but also definitely consider to start kidnapping victims all under my guidance. How does that sound, guys?
The police, they didn't want to hold the Barker boys. They would let them go.
Mentioned earlier, Dunlap, who was Ma's bum husband, was also known to be a smart, especially when he was drunk, which was very often. The gang did not like him. They didn't trust him. Karpis told his people that he was a pain in the ass. There's always one dude in the gang that can't keep his mouth shut, am I right? Well, these are the type of dudes that always get you into trouble. In a joint decision, the gang decides to murder Dunlap. A single bullet to the head. The police find Dunlap in Webster, Wisconsin. Police Chief Brown had their back the whole time, but the evidence was starting to show. The chief's involvement wasn't proven, but they did, however, demote him and eventually dismissed him from the police once and for all. Ma was always one step ahead. The gang relocates to Menomonee, Wisconsin. Fred continues to hide Ma in different hotels and various hideouts the whole time. Honestly, they wanted to keep her away from learning about other gang projects that they had going on independently of her. Better yet, away from her. You get it now?
Ma hated being separated from her sons, but she agreed with the understanding that they would visit her whenever they came to town.
Not only that, Ma was also known to battle with all their girlfriends, causing drama non-stop. The FBI stated that she would try to break up the relationships and keep a close eye on the gang she brought up and overseen. In 1933, they obtained $100K in ransom money for kidnapping wealthy businessman William Hum Jr. and Edward Bremer, bringing in an additional $200,000 in 1933. There wasn't a digital footprint yet, and detectives had to rely on latent fingerprint identification, and that is exactly how the FBI connected the gang to William Hum.
He would clench his hands, and we did not talk about the kidnapping.
According to FBI.gov, the silver nitrate method and its application in the Hum kidnapping was the first time it was used successfully to extract latent prints from forensic evidence. Scientists had just thought to take advantage of the fact that unseen fingerprints contain perspiration, chock full of sodium chloride, table salt, by painting the evidence, in this case the ransom notes, with a silver nitrate solution. The salty perspiration reacted chemically to form silver chloride, which is white and visible to the naked eye. There they were, hard evidence that the Karpis Gang was behind the kidnapping. The gang bounces from St. Paul. The FBI is now all over the case. They hit Chicago to launder the money from the ransoms and also routinely rent apartments for Ma.
Let's go to Chicago and make some money.
Things are now starting to heat up. Well, at Grimworld, things are always hot around here. The FBI closes in and discovers Ma's hideout along with her son, Fred. Arthur, by the way, was already arrested on January 8, 1935. They discover a map on him indicating addresses of other gang members who bounced to Florida, Ocklawaha, where they had a vacation retreat named after an alligator, Gator Joe.
You ready for some more cookies? Look at that. Are you happy, little alligator?
Agents surround the house very carefully on the morning of January 16, 1935. The FBI was not aware that Kapris and the other gang members were already gone. Fred and Ma were the only ones in the house. The FBI pleaded with them to surrender, but they wouldn't do it. Fred opened fire and the feds killed both of them after an hours-long shootout, back and forth, that never seemed to end. People reported to even stop by for a picnic to watch the show.
The deputy can work his way into those weeds out front. Avery and I will take the side in the back. Give us 5 minutes.
We got chicken salad sandwich. We have. You got the lights. You got a fan for to keep you cool.
Come out one at a time with your hands raised high, and we promise you won't be hurt, the police pleaded. The fire eventually comes to a dramatic close. Handyman Willie Woodbury entered the house, eventually wearing a bulletproof vest, and reported that no one inside was seen alive. Fred's body was covered in bullets when Ma's body appeared to only have one bullet shot into her. A Tommy gun was found in between them as they were both uncovered in the front bedroom. Some speculate that Ma may have shot herself.
Oh, Freddie. Oh, they was against us. They was always against us.
Their bodies were then put on public display, stored and remained unclaimed until October 1st, 1935, when relatives buried them at Williams Timber Hill Cemetery. According to okhistory.org, in 1939, guards killed Doc Barker in an escape attempt from the federal prison on Alcatraz Island, off the coast of California. In 1947, Lloyd Barker gained his freedom, but 2 years later, his wife shot and killed him. Arizona, Herman, and Freddie Barker are buried near Welch, Oklahoma. The FBI characterization of Ma Barker has persisted with movies such as Bloody Mama, 1970.
You'd probably turn them every way but loose.
I could put a bullet through your brain. Oh, I hurt nobody.
Public Enemies, 1996.
I am declaring United States of America's first war on crime.
Records do not indicate that she was ever arrested or charged with a crime.
You can't surround a house with one man.
Sound off, man.
Yeah.
The legend of Ma Barker and the Barker-Kapris gang goes down as a raw, unfiltered crime era filled with gang life you would never imagine would go on today. But never forget, it is a part of our grim world, which you choose to tune into today. What did you think of the true story of Ma Barker? Please subscribe and check out our Spotify.